Here's round 2, part 2, coming at you. Okay, so if you didn't watch part 1, I recommend you go back and watch it. I really don't want to go back and explain it, but just a brief bullet point on what happened. We thought this had a bad coil. It did not. Turns out there was some kind of a safety switch that we got. That was thing 1, and then thing 2, that turbine kind of clanked on itself, and then thing 3 is there's a flywheel cup in there, and that was sheared for some odd reason. I don't know what the event was that caused that, but those were the 3 things. So I believe the last little bit of last video was dumping a little bit of fuel down that plug hole, and it fired over and it sounded just fine. What we have left in this video is to clean the carburetor, get that fuel system right, and then that wheel right there has a broken part on its frame, and I have decided I'm going to tack that back into place. I'm not going to go too crazy with it. I'm not going to repaint it or anything. I'm just going to get it structurally right. Where it is, it's hidden anyways. You can't even really see the paint. We'll get to that in a moment, or in a few moments. Just want to make sure it's functional moving forward. These things don't really move around very much, right? You're not like moving them across the lawn, you know, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. You're really just moving it into place and then, you know, moving on. So the wheels are good. They're helpful, obviously, but they're not as important as, say, a lawnmower or even some of those leaf vacuums or stuff that you pull, you know, and address the cleanups that way. So first things first, let's get that carburetor off and we'll get that cleaned up. It's massively dirty. I don't think that's supposed to be black. I think that's supposed to be like a bronze color or a silver. So we'll check into that and we'll go from there. All right, let's start slowly, delicately taking apart this carburetor that smells just terrible. Here's one tip. So sometimes they have these main jet screws coming right out the bottom. If you ever don't know, I mean, we'll fine tune it, and it's pretty easy to fine tune when it's on. You can kind of hear it, you know, get better or get worse as you adjust. I want to know what it's set at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive it in until it lightly seats. That way I know when I take it out, when I put it back in after it's all clean, I'll drive it all the way until it lightly seats, and then I'll back it out what we count. There's a half, 1, 1.5. So like a strong 1.5. That's what we'll go with. These Tecumseh carburetors are made pretty well. So let's see how it recovers. So while that carburetor is in there cleaning up, I have that fuel line obviously is off. So I'm gonna get you guys set up. I'm just gonna flush some good fuel through it. There's obviously no fuel in there because none dribbled out, but you know, just any loose particles or anything like that, I just wanna dump some fresh stuff in and you know, we'll see what comes out the other side. Hopefully nothing too bad. You know, I mean, that carburetor too was just absolutely bone dry, and you just love to see it. So let's get some fresh fuel flushed through there. Guys, there's your finished product. I'm happy with the way this came out. This cleaned up extremely well. If you remember what it was before, it was just caked black, just crap all in it, and it's doing very well. All we got left to do is put it on, fire it up. May have to do a little adjustment. Just look at that. Just a beaut. Crazy before and after. Okay guys, that came back really, really well. I'm very pleased with that. Just some minor tweaks of the carburetor jets as you saw, but other than that, I mean, it's strong. It really, really, really is strong. I'm very impressed. It takes a lot to get it started, and it takes a lot to get it stopped just because that wheel is so heavy. But that wheel, that front wheel, that's the only thing we have left. We'll just tack that little piece on, and then we will put this one in the books. All right guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you for hanging with me. This is a different kind of video. I did way too much slow motion and cinematography, but I'm gonna tweak it around a little bit. I won't use as much. Hopefully you enjoyed more than the typical amount of production value that I usually do. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. It really, really would. Thank you. Follow me on social media at chrisxoutdoors. It's a handle. If you want to email, if you're an email person, chrisxoutdoors@icloud.com comes right to my phone. Well, the social media comes right to my phone too, so that didn't really make sense. Everything done on this channel is similar to this, bringing stuff back from the dead, figuring out what it takes to run, what it needs, what's wrong with it. So I won't let this video be completely done until we have some footage of this thing in action. I'm dropping it off tomorrow morning, so I will bring my camera and we will put it to the test and we'll see what this thing can do. Just kind of give some brief snippets of, just making sure it's good to go. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate you hanging. Peace.